Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to yet another TapDaddyBeats stream. I hope you guys are having a good one. We got a blank Ableton project here. Let's just dive into it. I think I'm going to just start with drums as I always do. Let's go see what we got cooking here. Okay. It's very boom bappy. This one, I feel like I could go any way with this, you know? We can make this a funk track. We can make this a hip-hop beat. It's just a solid groove. Let's pull that on there. Yeah, why not? Nice 91 BPM. Easy. Just easy going. Little drum break. Just loop that. And then maybe let's just dive into some sample material. Let's see if maybe we got some samples that we can chop, or I'm not quite sure if I want to just lay things down myself or just start chopping some samples. So I always like to maybe just start by sifting through some sample material, and if I don't find anything there, then I typically just go for just laying it down myself. That could be hard. I don't know if I want to do that, though. I kind of want to go for something a little bit more chill, maybe. That's a bit much. Woo! Oh, that's actually pretty sick. I was thinking we were gonna like chop something, but I might just like roll with these chords as like a starting point, a jumping off point, and just like lay down some shit on top of that, you know? Something like that. In fact, maybe we could kind of stick with like some piano or something. Might be kind of nice. Let's get in with that. I feel like I'm almost indecisive because this is like so good. This is just too easy. I want to lay down something so solid and catchy, you know? That is beautiful, dude. I dig that. Sometimes I like to kind of mix as I go. And I think that there's just like a couple of things that I want to do right off the bat. First thing I want to do is I want to sidechain into these chords right here. So let's duplicate these drums. And yeah, we're going to mute this, but we're going to solo this real quick so we can like isolate the kick signal. EQ8 on this guy. Got this beautiful AJ Hall break. See, what I really like about these AJ Hall breaks is this has been, like, his kicks are so separated. You have such clean recordings when it comes to drum recording. All right, so now we got like a nice sidechain signal. Let's use that to do a little bit of sidechain. Let's see. Dynamics, glue compressor. This is so sick. I bet I could get a little bit more bounce out of it if I adjust this release a little bit. Let's get one last sidechain in there. I stack these. I think it's sick. Yeah, now this sounds nice and bouncy, punchy. I dig it. Fuck yeah. Now, I'm kind of thinking on this piano, maybe we do a little bit of OTT on it. Get that, bring that texture forward, you know? Oh, now we get like a lot of that fuzz in here because that OTT picks it up, but we could probably adjust that though. And I kind of want to bring some of this. I'm curious, what if we took all these sidechains over? We could have a little bit of a tighter chain on this though. Maybe take off this one that has all the release on it. There we go. Man, I think next we're gonna have to just lay down a funky bass line. I don't know what it is about this shit, man. Like, I feel like I've transitioned from being a hip-hop producer to like an indie funk producer. I don't know. I've just been like so like all about the indie vibes lately. Very like indie funk feel good kind of stuff. Like this. Well, once we get the bass line in, then it'll be like some indie funk. Which I don't even know if that's a genre people listen to. I don't know. I like it. I have faith that other people will like it. I feel like you can do no wrong if you're just like making music that you vibe with. If you're not making music for yourself, you kind of find yourself imitating what you think people will like, and that's never really the most accurate approach. At best, you're gonna end up like left of whatever you think people is like find attractive, right? But if you're just like making music for yourself, just enjoying music, your tastes are valid and other people are bound to have similar tastes to you. That's kind of where we get our worth as producers, is like our taste in things, you know? At least that's my opinion on it. Yeah, let's bust out some funk bass. He says, my mix sounds great on my speakers and headphones at max volume, but at max volume in my car, it sounds muffled. Do you have any tips or tricks to get it translate clean in the car when you have the volume at max? I've tried listening to other songs at max volume in my car to make sure it's not an issue with my car, and they sound clean as fuck. Yeah, when the volume is all the way up. The thing that you got to understand about car speakers is that they have so much more bass definition than most other devices that you're going to be listening on. Unless if you have like some really nice monitors that can deliver that bass quality, the bass definition that you're going to get in your car is always going to be like, you're going to hear so much more of the bass range, right? I would also say that on top of that, car speakers tend to be a little bit low-end boosted as well. That's just naturally different listening devices kind of have a different sort of EQ applied to them. So honestly, I would just say, first things, like there's a couple different approaches. First of all, I would just say the most obvious one is test your mix in your car. And if your bass or the low end is just like completely overwhelming, maybe try a different approach with your mix or even your master. I like to boost all the highs on my master just like a little bit to get it sounding a little bit more crisp. I would say aside from that, though, a way that you can always like really accurately make sure that your music sounds like the music that you listen to is literally use a song that you are very familiar with, that you've listened to a lot, that maybe it's something that you would like to kind of emulate in your music. You're like, I kind of want my music to sound like this. Listen to it very carefully when you're mixing. Use it as a measuring stick. Be like, okay, my bass needs to sound like this. My kick needs to sound like that, So I don't know. I would just say start there. Yeah, he says it's not so much the bass, it's like the vocals start getting all wispy and airy sounding, if that makes sense. By airy, do you mean like thin, like not as full? If it sounds thin, if it doesn't sound very full, then that might just come down to the fact that you might not be utilizing so much of the frequency range, as much of the frequency range. If you have like a lot of low end and a lot of high end, but maybe not much going on the mid range, then your music just sounds thin. Gosh, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I feel like I'm having trouble deciding whether I want to start on C or E. Maybe it just needs to mirror that piano part. I don't know. We got to really play with that. Oh, man. Yeah, I got to really think on that. But yeah, so E Smalls says they sound like the volume is just getting pushed on the mix too much when I turn it up to max. And there are some kind of like artifacts that are coming through in it that just don't make it sound crystal clear anymore. It's almost like I have to listen to it at a certain volume for it to sound clear. But if I turn it up to max, it loses its polish. Interesting. I would say be weary of maybe how hot you're running your master chain. I don't know about you, but I feel like there are certain scenarios that I kind of run into the same issue where I get clipping. Like, are you, by artifacts, are you getting like clipping, does it sound like? Because I noticed that tracks that have a lot going on the like mid-low range, like let's say that you've like Rhodes do this a lot. If you've got like Rhodes keys, they're so concentrated in the mid-low range that the more that you push that's like the first thing that gives me troubles in the master. I would say, first of all, play with your mix at very loud volumes. Listen to it at a super loud volume. See if the mixed and unmastered version is sounding great to begin with. Because if the mix sounds great, then you know that it's not a problem with your mix. It's an issue with your master chain. So that might be one way to troubleshoot it. One other thing that you could try is you could pull up an EQ and see if there's any frequencies that are like really poking out, If there's any frequencies that are really poking out, what you can do is you can take your EQ and just kind of boop, poke it down, bring it down here a little bit. Yeah, he says, I wonder if it's the soft clipper. Ooh, that might be. Yeah, so he says that could be it because when I was gain staging, I had a soft clipper on it the whole time. Oh, yeah, that might be an issue because I would say take that soft clipper off and see if you're going above 0 dB because that might be giving you some issues. I would take that soft clipper off, make sure that you're in a good spot without the soft clipper, and then put your soft clipper on, push it as high as you need it to. But I would just say make sure that you're in a good spot without that soft clipper, because I don't know about you, but I feel like the soft clipper is kind of like the last thing that I like to apply, and it's because it can really mask you from issues that you're running into as you're playing with your mix, you know? He's like, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I'm glad we're figuring that out, man. Well, that was a fun distraction from this bass line that I'm completely butchering. Let's see if I can get this down now. Man, this is like actually surprisingly difficult. Yeah, baseline, he said. It'll be fun, he said. I feel like that's the thing is I need to go for something really simplistic, but I'm having trouble finding my way there. That's probably the closest that I've come. Okay. Sometimes it gets finicky, you know? You gotta play with it. Okay, I think it was like somewhere over here. Okay, let's focus on polishing that up right there. Got an idea. We're gonna bring over some side chain to the bass. Okay, we're getting closer. I might do some very subtle tweaking on this. Oh, these are the notes that I want, yeah. We could walk that down by moving this note down one. Yeah, that feels better. See, okay, I think that this was totally worth it. I know this was a painful process getting to this bass line, but like something that I just want to say about bass lines is like this is the foundation that everything else is built on top of. And this is true for like any genre that you're doing, whether you're making some indie funk vibes, you're making hip hop music, you're making, even if you're making country or folk music, like it doesn't matter. The bass is the foundation. So if the bass sounds off or it sounds kind of weak, it isn't quite gonna like do the trick, right? But if your bass is really solid and locked in, like the whole track feels very solid and locked in, you know? So something to just think on when you're playing that bass. I think that it's worth it to like really really mull it over. There were some one-shots I kind of wanted to play with, just kind of in this vein. You guys ever feel like you make a genre and you're like, you've got some go-to sounds? I've been discovering some new go-to sounds in my brain mapping of this file system here. You know what am I doing here? I should just bust out Purity like I do on every track. And it's, Purity is a sure thing for this kind of vibe. I think that's what I need to do. You know, that actually works pretty well. Shit, let's keep that. All right, let's go grab one of my other favorite sounds in here, the fairy bell. What else we got in here, though? Maybe see if we got any like organs to play with in here. I honestly haven't played too much with its organs. I'll just like tell you the reason why I bought this plugin is honestly because I'm a fan of Lauren's music. You know, he's a homie of mine. He makes very different music than mine. He makes like plug and B music, but I just really enjoyed the sonic quality of his music. And so I asked him one day when we were making beats together, I was like, man, like, what is this sound that you use in all of your stuff? And he's like, oh, that's just from the Purity VST. Sure enough, like, I asked him about a couple other sounds, and he's like, yeah, man, I use mostly Purity because, you know, it's like one of the first plugins that I bought. And I was like, that's sick, you know. And I ended up buying it myself, but I use it for completely different reasons. You know, he uses it for plug and B, which is, I think, what it's most popular for. I use it for freaking everything. I use it for, like, a lot of vaporwave inspired, like, hip hop and indie funk kind of stuff, you know, which is very much my own specific niche, you know. Like, I feel like I'm using Purity probably more differently than a lot of the people that own Purity. You know, I think a lot of people might use it for like trap or plug and B or something in that realm, you know. But for me, I'm like, ooh, retro sounds, vaporwave, let's do it. So this vintage organ sounds pretty cool. Classic organ. Now I feel like I'm in Ocarina of Time. Jeez. That's kind of fire. I don't know though. Full pipe. Woo! Ha! Oh, dude. Nice. I like that. Little organ blips. And I don't know, I just really love the quality of this organ, you know? Nick says, I'm just scared of buying plugins because I feel like I might use them for a bit and then stop using them. That's the only fear I have. Yeah, and honestly, man, I think that it's a very slippery slope whether we're talking about buying plugins or gear. You know, it's an investment in something that you do for fun. You know, it's an investment in your music. I suppose you could look at it like that. But honestly, yeah, it is kind of like, I don't know if I'll use this. I don't know if I'm going to pull this out constantly. And I guess what I will say is, like, this is just generally good advice for buying gear or buying plugins is if you think that you want to buy something, just hold off on it for a month. And if you still want it a month later, then get it. Absolutely. If you still feel like, yes, I want to do that. Because a lot of times we end up like wanting to buy things just kind of on an impulse. So if you want to just kind of separate that, do I just want this now or am I really going to use this? Wait a month, you know, wait a month, reevaluate it. And of course, if you still want it in a month, buy it. Absolutely. The more that you sit on something, the more that you realize how much you might actually need something or not. I know how we're gonna do this. Oh, man, that was an hour and 20 minutes. Time! I want to say I just cranked that out, but I really struggled with that bass line. But damn, it sounds so good. I love this. I love it so much. Holy shit. Oh, we might want to save this if we want to keep it. What song am I even on? I don't know. Song 756. Yeah, I haven't produced that much this week. I'm kind of slacking here. I think last Thursday we made song 753. So I haven't really made a whole lot of music this week. I need to kind of step up my game. But, you know, I it's with good reason. I've been super busy this week because I've got an album coming out. Yes. Oh, wait, no, I did make 755. Cancel. Let's do 756. Maybe I have been producing this week. 3 beats in 1 week. That's not bad. But personally, I would like to get that up to 4 to 5 per week. But we'll see. We'll see. If you guys are curious about, you know, upcoming TapDaddy album, I don't know if you guys saw in the Discord in general. Friends and Enemies, my upcoming album, Friends and Enemies, dropping on all platforms on March 29th. That's the last Friday in March. However, you can purchase it on Bandcamp early. If you want to help support me, if you want to show some support, if you like my music and you're like, I like this, I want to vote with my wallet, that's a good way to vote with your wallet. Friends and Enemies, it's a 21-track album. The debut TapDaddyBeats album, honestly. I haven't dropped any albums on official platforms as TapDaddy yet. Let me just read the description of this album for you. This album is dedicated to my friends and enemies. It originally started as a 3-track EP. It was the tracks You and Me, Us and Them, and The Difference, which still makes up tracks 2 through 4. However, I just had so much more to say on this subject. So much of who you are is defined by who you surround yourself with. And so in part, I'm a reflection of my friends who inspire me to do better and my enemies who challenge me to rise above it all. Dude, I'm so fucking excited for this. I've just been so, manic this week, ready for this to drop. This is like, Tap, you're such a goat. Thank you, man. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoy this album as much as I enjoy this. Honestly, this is one of the rare albums that I genuinely think I like the B-side even more than I do the A-side. It just really comes together on the B-side. Anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know that thank you to everybody that listens to my music. You guys are literally the whole reason why I do this. So if that's you, if you have ever listened to any TapDaddy music, thank you.